The Long Walk is a new dystopian thriller directed by Francis Lawrence and based off of a Stephen King novel. Isn't this like the third Stephen King adaptation we've gotten this year? Feels like it anyway. This movie takes place in a post-Civil War time, not, the past Civil War, in what would be a future Civil War, which, hopefully doesn't become reality for us. But anyways, after that Civil War, the economy's in absolute rut, the country's gone to shit, and right now, one of the things that brings a lot of hope to people, namely the young men of this country, is there is, once every year, this very long walk that a bunch of these guys sign up for, and the goal is simple. You walk for as long as you can. Last man standing wins a giant cash prize and one wish. But here's the kicker. There is no finish line. There is no distance total that you have to walk. You just have to outlast the others. How do you outlast the others? You must maintain a speed of over 3 miles per hour at all times. If at any point you fall below that speed, you are issued 3 warnings, and if after the 3rd warning you can't get back up to that speed, you're shot in the head and killed. And that's one thing that I did like with this movie. This movie, right out the gate, sucks you into the world. It has like this little text that explains the setting, explains, how this world is, why the race matters, why people enlist in it. And before you know it, the characters all get grouped together, prepare for the long walk, and then off they go. I like that. It gets right to the point. It doesn't drag on with any bullshit that we need. I like that. What I also really appreciate in this movie, the characters in this movie across the board, I was really impressed with the performances of this movie, but I mainly want to touch on the main 2 guys we get, played by Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson. This is their movie. They're the 2 main characters, and what I really love about their characters, and what I think really carried this movie itself, is the friendship between the 2 of them. I mean, they don't know each other before the walk. They literally just, they show up, they start talking, they vibe, and it's like, alright, you and I are gonna get along, let's stick together. Let's try to see how far we can make it in this together. And you do see a real, genuine friendship there. The banter between each other, the way they talk to each other about their lives and their dreams and what they're hoping to really get out of this walk. It's some really powerful stuff, and I loved seeing that between the 2 of them, and the credit goes to them for their performances. Was really excited in particular to see David Johnson in this movie. I mean, I went on the record to say in Alien Romulus, he absolutely needed to get more work for himself. I'm glad to see that Hollywood listened, and I'm glad to see he's delivering on that. But really, the entire cast in itself, they all do a really good job. There's not a false note anywhere. Ben Wayne's in this movie, the kid from Karate Kid Legends, and it's funny, while I really didn't like Karate Kid Legends, I looked at Ben Wayne and I was like, I feel like he has potential. And yeah, seeing him in this movie, he crushes it here, and I'm like, yep, I was right in my intuition. And yeah, there is a plethora of characters, a plethora of young men that are on this walk, and you do learn and realize pretty quickly, the totem pole of them. It's like, alright, you got the 2 leads, then you've got people they kind of become affiliated with, they get along with. You have other people where you're like, alright, am I supposed to root for you or root against you? And then there's the other ones that's like, okay, you're just here to get killed. That's what it is. As a result, does it make the movie feel a little bit predictable? Yeah, because you know who the movie's focusing the most on. You kind of know the direction that it is leading to, or at least you start to think the movie's going to go a particular way, and you know what? You're probably right. It's not a movie that's going to throw you for a lot of curveballs here and there. But one thing that I did really appreciate in this movie was the vibe it gave me. It was a very Stand By Me kind of vibe, which is based off another Stephen King book. But what I really loved was Stand By Me, and I really loved seeing in this movie, is it's namely just a movie about these young guys who are all either established friends, or in this movie, in this case, become friends, and they're just talking. But it's such realistic dialogue, it's such relatable topics that they're, discussing with each other, like, family and future and what they want and everything, and it's good. And as a result, it helps you get attached to a few extra characters along the way, and it helps you see a real friendship grow. Everything felt very authentic. So when you see these characters care for one another and want to help each other along the race, you buy into it. Or walk, I should say, rather. I might call it a race a few times in this movie. I don't mean to do that, just if I say race, you know what I'm talking about. I will say this much though, I think what benefits a movie though, like Stand By Me, a little bit more than this movie does, is Stand By Me, the 4 friends, they had a clear destination. They were going towards something. They were on an adventure to get somewhere. This movie is not so much an adventure necessarily. I mean, these characters just have to keep walking until there's only one person left. There's no real destination. The end is when the last man is standing. And these characters, they walk for a ridiculous ridiculous amount of time. They walk for a really long time. And as a result of that, I think because there's no clear destination in sight, the movie does feel a little bit slow at times. But I will give the movie credit here. While the movie felt slow, it never felt boring. Because like I mentioned, you're locked into quite a few of these characters, namely the lead two. You're interested in the dynamic between all of them and the friendships that are growing. And yeah, as a thriller, is the movie intense? Oh yeah, it is. When it wants to be, it fucking hits you right in the heart. And the movie does a very good job at establishing right out the gate, you know, what this long walk entails, what happens if you can't get your speed up, and when these guys are executed, it's pretty brutal. It's gruesome. The first guy right out the gate, he gets shot in the face, and I was just sitting there like, oh, fuck, this is what we're in for? And it never lets up like that. When people die in the movie, it's pretty brutal, and you wouldn't think that a shot to the head would seem that horrific or horrible in a movie anyway, but it absolutely is. And what I like seeing with a lot of these characters is when they see someone get shot, it doesn't necessarily, you know, have them rooting like, okay, there's one less down, we're that much closer to it. No, they see someone die and they're freaked out by it. It's like, okay, I'm at like 3.1 miles per hour. Let's pick that up a little bit because I don't want to fucking die. You see fear in these characters, you see a lot of anxiety in them, and what I like seeing is none of them are necessarily trying to eliminate one another. A lot of them want to see it through to the end together for as long as possible. Like, there's a real sense of camaraderie that comes around these young men. I thought that was great. I will say, it's not like characters get eliminated left and right every other second or anything like that. I mean, there is a long stretch in the movie where, you know, characters aren't getting shot, you know, they're keeping their pace more or less. There is one moment in the movie where the characters have to go through some kind of an obstacle. I mean, obstacle is probably a very strong word for it, but they go through something that is clearly designed to eliminate more of the walkers so, you know, they can speed this thing along a little bit more, if you will. But during that moment, by then, you're attached to a lot more characters, and now you are really feeling... You're feeling it more. You're feeling the anxiety a little bit. And that's what impressed me with this movie. It's like, when characters are shot, even the ones you don't necessarily care about, it's really, really intense. And as those ones get picked off a little bit more, and you grow attached to more characters, once it gets to moments that are clearly designed to pick certain characters off, you are sitting there hoping and praying that the ones you have grown to like don't get killed. And as a result of that, this movie, surprisingly, but maybe not so surprisingly, really was able to hit you very heavy with the emotional matter. I mean, characters are walking for a very long time. It wears them down, like physically, emotionally. It makes them rethink why they did it, or rethink, you know, what they were pursuing with this whole thing. You know, it has all these characters reflecting their families, their homes, what they wanted, their past. And they get into some really, really deep, heavy shit, and I gotta tell you, there were more than a couple moments with certain characters that I was looking around and I saw a lot of people in my auditorium in tears. Like, it's the type of movie that's going to hit you right in the heart, and I'm glad a movie like this was able to do that. As far as other flaws in this movie go, I will say, Mark Hamill, who's the colonel in this movie, is the one who kind of oversees the long walk. He's, you know, meant to be the villain of the story. I kind of wish I hated him, or at least maybe gave a shit a little bit more about him as a villain, because he's not in the movie as much as I kind of thought he would be. I mean, you see him like once every 10 minutes or so. It kind of felt like that anyway. And when he shows up, it's not like he does anything really memorable or malicious. He's just kind of there to like motivate the boys. It's like, yeah, carry on. You're doing great things for your country. You can do it. And yeah, you know the guy's a fucking asshole. You know he wouldn't hesitate to kill any of these young men. But at the same time, I wish they did a little bit more with them. I mean, I know Mark Hamill is capable of playing a piece of shit character. I kind of wish he got more of the chance to do that. I'm gonna do one thing with the character that I think is meant to get you to hate him a little bit more, and it does, but it wasn't as effective as I would have liked it to be. So all in all, I thought The Long Walk was a pretty damn good movie. I thought performances across the board, everyone crushed it. Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson, both of them were excellent in this movie. I love seeing the chemistry between them, really the chemistry between so many of the different characters, seeing, you know, all these guys who have signed up for this walk that's ultimately going to kill all but one of them, seeing them come together, they've never known any of each other, and the friendship that really builds with all of them, it really it was something that made you care about so many different characters, a lot more than maybe you thought you would have. Goes back to a meme I once saw. It was like the caption was like, girls are gonna be like, oh, I know she's been my best friend of 10 years, but I still don't trust her. And then the picture is like, two guys stand on a ladder while another dude is outside on a building fixing an AC unit or something, and the caption under that is like, boys after one day of friendship or something. This movie's kind of a representation of that. I don't know. It's where my brain goes. I thought it was funny. But yeah, I appreciate the movie got right to it. The movie is very intense. It's very emotional. The movie is a little bit predictable. Like, you kind of have a sense of who's going to make it to the end and who's not. Might feel a little bit slow at times. There's maybe a couple characters here and there that I wish got fleshed out a little bit more. The movie also didn't really end the way I was kind of expecting it to. I mean, not that I hate the ending, but I don't think it's the greatest ending in the history of movies either. But in the end, as we know, Stephen King adaptations can go one of two ways. They can be good, they can be bad. I'm very happy this one ended up being good. I'm gonna give The Long Walk a 7 out of 10, which makes this one worth making the trek to the movies for.
All right, come on, hurry up, Brian. I don't want to miss the movie trivia slides before the movie.
So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and as always, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.